Right now, somewhere in the world, something is watching you. Not from behind a screen, not from across the street, from the shadows, from underwater, from 30 feet above your head in the trees. You've been told nature is beautiful, and it is, but beauty has teeth. Today, we're counting down 5 of the most terrifying, most cunning, most lethally perfect predators to ever walk or swim or silently crawl across this earth. And by the time we reach number 1, you may never look at the wild the same way again. Number 5, the saltwater crocodile. It's early morning in northern Australia. The air is thick and hot. A river stretches out ahead of you, calm, almost peaceful. You can't see a thing beneath the surface. That's exactly the point. The saltwater crocodile, Crocodilus porosus, is not the biggest predator on this list, but it may be the most patient. These creatures haven't changed in over 200 million years. You know what that means? They were here before the dinosaurs disappeared, and they're still here now. A fully grown saltwater croc can reach 23 feet in length. That's longer than most living rooms, can weigh over 2,000 pounds. And when it bites down, the force is over 3,700 pounds per square inch. The strongest bite force ever recorded on Earth. But here's the thing that makes them truly terrifying. It's not the bite, it's the waiting. Saltwater crocs can stay perfectly still underwater for up to 2 hours. No movement, no ripple, nothing. Just a pair of ancient eyes, barely above the surface, watching, calculating, and when they decide to move, it's over in less than a second. Researchers in the wild have recorded crocs launching themselves completely out of the water, a full-body lunge that covers 10 feet in under a second. There's no warning, no sound, no splash until it's far too late. But here's the first twist you didn't see coming. As lethal as this animal is, as ancient and perfect as its killing instinct has been refined across millions of years, saltwater crocodiles are incredible mothers. They guard their eggs fiercely for 3 months. When the babies hatch, the same jaws that can crush a water buffalo gently carry the hatchlings to the water one by one. Nature's deadliest predator is also one of its most devoted parents. Makes you wonder, what else in nature isn't exactly what it seems? Stay with us, because this list is just getting started. And number 4, it hunts in a way no one fully understood until very recently. Number 4, the Orca. We call them killer whales, but that name doesn't do justice to what they actually are. The orca, or Sinus orca, is not a whale at all. It's the largest member of the dolphin family, and it might be the most intelligent predator on this entire planet. Here's what makes that terrifying. Orcas don't just hunt, they strategize, they communicate, they teach their young. Each pod, each family group has its own dialect, its own culture, its own set of hunting techniques passed down through generations. In the waters off Norway, researchers filmed something that stopped them cold. A massive pod of orcas working in perfect coordination, circling a school of herring, tightening the formation, slapping their tails in sequence to create shockwaves that stun the fish before moving in. It looked less like an animal hunt and more like a military operation. But that's not even the scary part. Off the coast of Patagonia, orcas have been recorded intentionally beaching themselves, launching their bodies halfway onto dry land to snatch sea lion pups from the shore. They taught themselves to do this, and then they taught their children. Here's the twist that genuinely unsettled marine biologists. Orcas have been observed hunting great white sharks, not by brute force, not by accident, by flipping them upside down. Great white sharks enter a tonic immobility, a kind of paralysis when inverted, and orcas figured this out. They chase the shark, flip it, hold it still, and consume what they want. The ocean's most feared predator helpless, at the mercy of something smarter. If the apex predator of the sea can be outwitted, what does that say about the rest of us? We'll come back to that thought, because predator number 3 hunts something you'd never expect, and it does it from above. Number 3, the Harpy Eagle. The Amazon rainforest. 300 feet of dense green layered over some of the most biodiverse land on the planet. Over 40,000 plant species, millions of insects, jaguars on the forest floor, and somewhere up in the highest branches, something with a 6-foot wingspan is watching. Meet the Harpy Eagle, Harpia harpygia. It doesn't soar in open skies like most birds of prey. It threads itself through the forest canopy, moving between branches at full speed, wings adjusting with razor precision, silent as a shadow. The Harpy Eagle has talons the size of a grizzly bear's claws. Each rear talon can be over 4 inches long, can strike with enough force to crack bone. And what does it hunt? Monkeys, full-grown adult monkeys, sloths, large iguanas, prey that can weigh up to 20 pounds. It snatches them, mid-air, from tree branches, before they even know it's there. Researchers studying these birds noticed something deeply unsettling in the field. The Harpy Eagle doesn't just hunt randomly. It scouts. It will perch silently in the canopy for hours, watching a particular group of monkeys, learning their patterns, identifying the weakest members, and then choosing its moment. This is called selective predation, and it's a level of behavioral intelligence we used to believe only mammals possessed. But here's the twist. In areas where Harpy eagles hunt regularly, monkey populations have developed something remarkable in response. Alarm calls, specific vocalizations that mean, look up, the sky is dangerous today. The prey learned to fight back, not with claws, not with teeth, with language. Nature isn't just a battle of strength, it's a battle of intelligence. And the next predator on our list? It didn't just win that battle, it rewired the environment itself. Number 2, the gray wolf, Yellowstone National Park, 1995. For 70 years, gray wolves had been absent from this landscape, hunted to local extinction, gone. And in their absence, something had gone wrong. The elk population had exploded. They grazed without fear, standing in rivers, stripping riverbanks of vegetation, eroding soil. The rivers themselves changed course. Songbirds disappeared because the trees they nested in were eaten bare. Beavers, who need those trees to build dams, vanished. Fish populations dropped. The entire ecosystem had started to collapse. Then, in January of 1995, 14 gray wolves were reintroduced. And within a decade, the rivers moved back. The wolves hunted the elk, yes. But more than that, they changed where the elk went. Elk stopped grazing near rivers and valleys where they could be ambushed. Vegetation recovered. Riverbanks stabilized. Trees grew back. Songbirds returned. Beavers returned. Their dams created ponds. The ponds filtered water. Otters came back. Then eagles. Then bears. 14 wolves changed the physical geography of an entire national park. Scientists gave this phenomenon a name, the trophic cascade. The predator doesn't just hunt. It shapes the world around it. But here's the twist that no one talks about. When the wolves were reintroduced, when the elk changed their behavior, when the trees grew back, when the rivers stabilized, the carbon stored in all that recovered vegetation helped slow local warming trends in that region. Predator, affecting climate. By hunting, you thought the wolf was the most dangerous thing in that forest. Turns out, the most dangerous thing was its absence. Which brings us to number 1. No claws, no fangs, no roar. And yet, scientists call it the most effective killer of large mammals in human history. What is it? Stay right there. Number 1, the human being. You expected a lion, didn't you? Maybe a great white. Maybe something ancient and monstrous from the deep. But the most statistically deadly predator in the history of large animal extinction. The creature that has caused more megafauna deaths, more ecosystem collapse, more permanent species loss than any other organism ever identified in the fossil and historical record, is us. Now, before you click away, this is not a lecture. This is not a guilt trip. This is the twist. Because here's what researchers have discovered. And this is recent, this is fascinating, and this changes everything. Animals are evolving in response to us. Elephants in heavily poached regions of Africa, areas where ivory hunters have targeted tusked elephants for generations, are being born without tusks. In Mozambique's Gorongosa National Park, studies found that after decades of heavy poaching during the Civil War, over 33% of younger female elephants now carry a genetic mutation that prevents tusk growth. The species is rewiring its own DNA to avoid the predator. African elephants aren't the only ones. Urban coyotes have developed different territory patterns, sleep schedules, and social structures, all shaped by human presence. Mountain goats in heavily hiked areas now actively avoid trails during peak hours. Fish populations in heavily fished waters have genetically shifted towards smaller body sizes, because the large ones always get taken. Every predator on this list changed something. The crocodile commands the river. The orca commands the sea. The harpy eagle commands the canopy. The wolf reshaped an entire ecosystem. But we, the human being, are the only predator that has caused other species to change their genetics. We are so powerful, so persistent, so inescapable, that nature is mutating away from us. And here's the question I'll leave you with, the one that keeps scientists up at night. If we are the predator that reshapes sea, so which predator shocked you the most? Was it the wolf that moved rivers? The orca that outsmarted the ocean's greatest killer? Or did number 1 hit you like it hit me the first time I heard it? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. If the story made you think, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel keep bringing you stories like this. And if you're new here and you want more mysteries from the natural world, subscribe, because we're just getting started.